is LaShonda Eccles. I am a part of HRD 4200, and today I'll be talking about confronting and overcoming failure. So, when facing or confronting failure, you should face it, the mistake or the challenge, if it's in your career or if it's in your personal life. You should make sure you deal with it face on. You deal with it face on so you can make sure you are moving forward positively. So, I have 3 learning objectives. My first one is acknowledge and accept. My second one is self-reflection. And my third one is set realistic goals. So these 3 learning objectives will be touched on throughout this whole video. So first, you need to make sure you acknowledge the mistake. You need to make sure you identify the root cause. And then also you need to make sure you seek feedback to define clear goals. So I made sure that I brought notes with me so I won't miss any points. So now I pulled out information from the text that we are reading in our class. So basically the text focuses on change that is within one's control. So it emphasizes on making sure that we are focusing on things that are in our control. So there are different types of changes. So you have internal forces and external forces. So it was a model in the class, well, not in the class, but in the text that stood out to me, and it was the W-I-N change model. And with the WIN model, it basically touched on making sure that you write it down first. So write down what you are trying to overcome, or if it's like something that you categorize as failure, you need to write it down first. And then with writing it down, this kind of helps to my next point, which is documenting it. So making sure you document the issue. Also making sure you document that first step, because if you identify what it is, we can change it if we know what it is, because we are in reality with it. So documenting it can look like you using a Google Doc to keep track of it, using a journal. I advise just using anything that you know you check a lot. So then also after that, what you want to make sure you do is identify how the change affects you personally. And then after you do that, you want to make sure you recognize and document your emotional reaction to it. So after you do all 3 of those, you can move forward to the next thing, which is individual responsibility. So that's you, what your responsibility is. So for one, you need to make sure you are setting specific goals, clear goals. And then also you need to make sure you set specific actions as well, and set specific actions that manage your emotional reaction. So how I talked about at the top, making sure you document your emotions. So now you're going to be setting goals to manage those emotional reactions. And then also you want to make sure if you are doing all of these things, but you are still not like improving, I advise you to seek help from someone else. So you can seek help from a therapist, you can seek help from a mentor, from a career coach, or even sometimes a peer. You never know. So then also you want to make sure, for the last part of the WIN, is that you are looking at it in a new learning view. So meaning you're taking the change and you're seeing it through the view of new learning. So when we look at change as an opportunity rather than I'm a failure and I can't do this anymore, we can grow. So you need to make sure you see change and stress as opportunities for learning. So you do this by, for one, if you keep on doing something over and over and over again and you can't figure it out, you need to document it. You need to figure out what it is that you are doing, why you keep doing it, what is the outcome you are getting, and when do you want to change this, and how do you want to improve it. And then if you really can't figure it out by yourself, I say seek help from someone else, how I mentioned a few minutes ago. So then after that, you want to make sure you identify skills needed to manage the change effectively, and then also create a learning plan. So you need to make sure you do all of these with the WIN change model in order to better yourself and change. So now I want to touch on my key takeaways. So for my key takeaways, clearly define change is my first one. So you want to make sure you be direct with the reason for change. You want to also make sure you are being direct, and make sure you let the people know what outcomes you want and goals, and also communicate, and then also keep an open window for open communication. So giving people the opportunity to ask questions and bring up their concerns to you, if it's like not just personal concerns and it's like you trying to better things at work. So you want to make sure you do things such as that. And then I know I'm running short on time, so I'll ask my question. My discussion question that I have for you all to think on is, can you recall a specific instance of change in your life or career that resulted in personal growth? What did you learn from that experience? Thank you all so much for watching my video. I hope this was very helpful. Please leave questions below if you have any questions. Bye!